Well, another person who just got out was King Tut, who allegedly was the guy who shot Tupac in the Quad Studio situation. You know about him?
Definitely know about him. Did you speak to him?
I did not. I actually spoke to someone that was trying to set up an interview with us, but what I offered and what he was asking apparently did not coincide. A lot of these guys come out. See, the problem is that this happens all the time, right? These guys come out who did these long prison terms, and we'll talk about doing a potential interview, and I'll offer something that's fair, that, you know, we could make our money back. And at one point they are interested, and they'll be like, yeah, okay, this is cool, let's do it. And then someone will get in their ear and say, nah, don't work with Vlad. I'll get you a Netflix movie. I'll get you $100 million.
Yeah,
So
but
5 years later, they're still waiting for that.
But now the story's really not relevant.
Or it just never happens. I've been talking White Boy Rick for 5 years about doing an interview. You know what I'm saying? It's still, I'm still waiting.
There's been movies done already.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like this happens all the time. So someone got in his ear and basically is saying, oh, we'll get you a huge documentary. We'll get you a huge movie. Don't work with Vlad because that'll make the deal fall apart, which honestly, I've never even heard of this happening. Usually when you do a VladTV interview, it'll blow you up even bigger and they'll put you on the radar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so King Tut allegedly shot Tupac. He was sentenced to 5 life terms for violent robberies. He's actually the only person to ever get sentenced to mandatory life in prison out of the Eastern District of New York under the 3 strikes law. But what had happened was the judge who sentenced him over time felt it was an overly harsh sentence. And sentencing guidelines have evolved since then, where these days he would have gotten 5 life terms. So he ended up letting him go after 27 years. I was gonna do the interview, and we weren't on the same page, unfortunately. I would love to interview King Tut, especially because the Tupac part of the story.
Who'd you go through?
I don't want to say. I'll tell you afterwards, because I don't want to put the person, you know, on Front Street, but yeah.
I think our guy over the water can make that one happen.
Okay. Hey man, listen, if I go through someone else and make it happen,
Yeah,
I would love to.
I go see him once a year, so.
Okay.
I'll call old Jack. Jack probably could put a call in for you.
Well, the last person who just got out is Gerald Prince Miller. This is the nephew of Supreme. He was sentenced to life without parole in 1992. 50 Cent mentioned him on Ghetto Quran. He said, when you hear talk of the South Side, you hear talk of the team. See N-words feared Prince and respected Preem. For all you slow motherfuckers, I'm gonna break it down iller. See, Prince was the businessman and Prince was the killer. So basically when Supreme went to prison, Prince took over and it turned into an absolute bloodbath. There was 8 homicides that was under his watch, allegedly. And he was just like the crazy dude out there killing everybody and so forth. So he ultimately just got out. Another person who I was speaking to through the same guy, that we actually had a price that we agreed on, and then at the last minute, they're like, oh no, someone came in and said, don't do the VladTV interview. We're going to get you a bigger deal somewhere. So he's not interested in talking to me at all anymore, once again. Which is unfortunate because Supreme is the bigger name in this story, right?
He is, but Prince is a name.
Prince is a name.
Yeah,
but I think that these guys feel they have $1 million stories. I mean, listen, I talked to Alpo before he got killed. We were talking, and you know, I gave him what I thought was a fair offer. There was some wiggle room. He wasn't interested at all because someone told me, oh, he wants over 100,000. And I'm like, well, I can't offer that.
Well,
so.
a lot of these people are getting out of jail, and they're tied to people that don't understand this industry anyway.
Right.
So what happens, Vlad, is they say, yo, Vlad's making all this money. That's a collective of work. We're talking about your situation and what your situation's valued at. If I have a house that's 3,000 square feet, this is gonna be valued different from the house that's 5,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's story is a little different. And on top of that, what they don't understand is a lot of people from their era aren't really socially inclined to what we do.
Yeah.
So what your platform is doing is introducing them to a total different fan base that's gonna watch it because this is Vlad. And I don't think they understand that the value you bring is the equivalent to the value of their story, because they can stand on the corner and tell their story, they can go write a book about their story, but it's not gonna get the movement that it will get with their story being on your platform. So the things you're offering them, they should kind of consider, you know, and I think maybe Vlad find a situation to where maybe the front end is a little less, and then maybe you do a little profit sharing on the back, because that at that point it makes a person feel like as it continues to make money, they'll make something off of it too. But they gotta lighten up on the front end of the deal as well.